Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Danay Garcia from Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm hanging out with your boy Galaxy on Comic Con Radio.
Don't know if any of you are out there. Don't know if any of you are listening. But if you are, hang in there. We're coming for you. We've been doing this for a while, this helping people, and we haven't had a whole lot of luck.
You have no idea where you landed, do you?
You can trust us. You don't have to be afraid.
That's what people always say when there's something to be afraid of.
This place? We can't stay here for long.
Down!
Can we just take a breath? I'm aware I have a distinctive timbre. Hearing it now, seeing my face, removing all doubt, you may be inclined to instantly pull the trigger, perhaps involuntarily. A Pavlovian response of self-defense. So, can we just take a breath before we begin?
You still talk too much, Victor.
There's no way to really protect yourself. You can't put a weapon between you and losing people, and you can't even run away from them either. And I'm telling you that because I tried. The way out is opening the door. To people. To possibility. To the hurt that will happen.
When will I be able to play the accordion?
You play the accordion?
You missed a real shit pie a la mode today, Jimbo.
It's not supposed to be easy. Can't just pick up a walkie and say, we want to help, and that's it. It should be hard. Maybe that's how we know we're on the right track.
I'm starting to think maybe we got all the luck in this world.
My mom did so much to make sure we were standing here. I didn't think that anyone could help me.
Until you made me believe it.
Morgan.
Dwight?
Do you know each other?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. The Walking Dead. Z Nation. Van Helsing. DC Titans. Flash. The Legends of Tomorrow. Black Lightning. American Horror Story. The Green Arrow. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your boy Galaxy for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Now today, we have a very amazing young lady. I'm telling you, she's from one of my personally favorite TV shows. And I know I do hundreds of these a year, and I always say this is my favorite show, but this is my favorite show. I always say top 10 or top 20. This is my top 3 favorite shows of all time. We have the lovely and amazing Danay Garcia on Comic-Con Radio. Danay, how are you?
I am amazing. I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know the season is happening super crazy right now, and I will not dare talk about future episodes. I don't do that. I'm a good boy. I'm going to talk about the past, where we're going, maybe, and how you are today. How about that?
Today, I feel great. I've been looking forward to talking to you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
I know everybody asks you where you're from. I think everybody in this world knows where you're from, right? I just want to ask you, who is Danay?
Danay is a storyteller lover and crazy about the arts and crazy about inspiring others to see the world in different ways through storytelling and through characters that care about showing different perspectives of how to see a different way to see the world, to see cultures, and obviously to see the apocalypse, as Luciana. I'm a nature lover, and I just love talking to people. It's my passion.
So it's your passion to talk to everyone. You seem like that. You know, your character on TV, I know originally when they brought you out into season 2, you were this like badass girl in tune, came from this hardcore village. You're like this like hunter, and you've changed and you've become different. And I think the real you is in that character now in the TV show. Would you say that your own personal characteristics are in the character of Luciana now?
You know, it's interesting because when I started in season two, all you would see was like this woman that was like fearless and was taking over the world with her guns and her knives and all that. And that was great. But later on, then you see a Luciana that is more, profound, like in a way that she gets injured and now she's stuck somewhere. She can't move. She cannot kill. So what you do is that you become stronger mentally because you cannot move. You cannot go out. And then it's like, I'm not injured, but I love nurturing not just myself physically, but also mentally. And sometimes you have to stay still to do that. And my character is one of these characters that had the luxury, because she's injured, to kind of reflect on what she's doing and how to do it better. And that says a lot about, what she's becoming. She's becoming a woman that is like strong mentally and physically, that to some extent being in the apocalypse is like a luxury to have at the same time, You either have to go out and survive and kill, but you cannot do both at the same time, kill and recover mentally. And somehow Luciana has a little bit of both. And I love to think of myself, I love to work on that balance in my life. So it's finally getting to that sense of, Danay is like that too. So it's going to be an interesting season because her injury forces her to be still. And it's hard to be still in times of struggle, especially the apocalypse,
You actually hit the nail on the head with that answer. You're in an apocalypse, you're still nurturing, and it showed in the last episode with Dylan, so caring and comforting and just, rolled up the antenna like it's your kid or something like that. And it's such a different you. And it's cool to see these things.
Totally. I mean, it's something that would never have happened unless I am in that situation of like, I'm injured. And there are two choices, either you're going to get really upset that you're injured and sad and depressed, or you're going to make a little child feel hope and stop thinking about yourself. And that it's beautiful to see, because some characters could easily be like dark and like, I can't believe it's unfair for me to be here stuck. But then she becomes more in the proactive way. She becomes more like, okay, what can I do with this moment? And that is so Luciana. And the fact that she's working her relationship with Dylan, it's in a way also to fix her relationship with Charlie that she never got to do in the past. To some extent, she failed in that relationship. She couldn't save that little kid when she needed her the most. And by connecting with Dylan and understanding this beautiful world through the children's eyes could be really terrifying. So she goes to an extreme and say, you know what? I'm going to connect with this little thing and connect with this little prince that tied us all together, all the kids and me, including Charlie herself, and tried it one more time. And connecting with that little kid, by the way, as an actor, he's amazing, was quite a gift that usually characters don't have in the apocalypse. Usually we don't. So it's really nice.
You're becoming one of the nicest people in the apocalypse. So that's refreshing and it's different. But before the apocalypse, before Fear the Walking Dead, before all of this, you had an amazing journey of your own. Everyone in the world, if they're not living under a rock, they know you're Cuban. But I don't think a lot of people know that you're one of the only Cuban actresses in the U.S. that was born back in Cuba and escaped. And you fled in 2003. And then now, in 2019, you're rocking Fear the Walking Dead. How crazy is that?
People usually mention, like, how do you get here? And I just said little things of how I got here. And even for me, it's kind of surreal because ever since I came here, like just very, very first beautiful question, it's like, who's Danay? I'm literally a storyteller, lover, and I always do my best to tell a story, and either as an actor, then as a writer, as a director. I just love what I do, and I only focus on that. And even with Fear the Walking Dead, my entire goal and objective has always been to contribute to everything I do, because that's what I learned back home. Like, if you want to have a value, literally contribute and just give as much as you can, not just one time, every time. Every day you go, every time you meet somebody, every time somebody gives you an opportunity, just give your absolute best. And it's weird because throughout the years, that's all I've been doing. And now this is like a result of all that. And I've been so focused on giving my absolute best every day that now seeing everything that has come out of it, it's so surreal. You know, it's like I've never focused on what can I get, how can I, do this. I just knock on doors and say, hey, this is what I've got. If it's not enough, how can I do better, And that's just my entire focus. And that's generally my advice to everybody, that, whenever you come from, it's like, even though you come from like a complete different corner, the only thing you've got with you is your best, like every day. And it's easy to say, but it's so hard to find. I noticed that. And that somehow, that attitude and point of view, it really releases you from all the pressure that this world can put at you as for me as a woman, as an actor, as a human, as a mother, it's like, this is all I got. and seeing where I am right now, it's really a gift, I have to say. It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful gift, and it's really amazing. And I know sometimes you probably are on set and you're like, oh my God, look, I'm on this amazing TV series. The whole world loves it. My character's evolving. I get to play my own personal feelings into the character now because it's developed so well. But still, a lot of hard work went into it, and a lot of your own feelings and everything like that. And it might seem easy and very fluid to people, but it's not. The more in-depth roles, yeah, it's a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, it's make-believe. To a lot of people, it's like foofy-doofy, but I think it's such a crazy situation because on one hand, there's these things that's trying to murder you that are not thinking, which are the zombies. And then on another hand, there's the humans that have become worse than the zombies. And then you get to still show who you are, play the character, and be this person. And it's amazing to see that. And I bet you've become such a huge role model for so many young girls around the world.
I don't take this opportunity for granted. That's why every day I just wake up and I'm like, what is the best I can do today? And okay, it's hot. Oh, it's raining. Oh, it's mud. Oh my God, we have 10 more hours to go. It's a huge responsibility to represent, women nowadays, especially in the show in the apocalypse, where it's such a men's world. It's so physical and so demanding physically and mentally and emotionally. It's a character that it's constantly surviving either, injury or zombies or, the dead, the living. Mostly the living are the big target. And, women, they resonate with her and they keep calling me just such a badass. And so when you really look at the show and what I've done, I kill people. This character, she's like a badass, but she's also vulnerable. And she also feels fear and she also feels the pain. of losing and people that she loves, and she's confronted a lot of losses and heartbreak, and she's not afraid to cry. She's not afraid to feel, and at the same time, she's not afraid to bounce back. And the fact that you have a vulnerable character that bounces back stronger, that's really what makes her a badass. And that's something that I really want to put out there for women. You know, it's okay to feel, because some characters are written like, okay, here comes this character, the woman, that all she does is kill and she has no feelings. Oh, she's a badass. I just wanted to represent women that are real. You can be a badass and you can also be vulnerable. And that is your strength. That is something that you should not apologize for. Feel, wake up, bounce back. That's what we do, you know? When we're married, when we're parents, we deal with a lot of stuff. And if you don't feel the fear, you cannot become fearless. That is a character that I wanted women to also see and recognize as badasses, you know, and let themselves be who they are without any pressure at all.
That's really cool. The way you're saying these things,
Yeah.
It's really motivating. And I know a lot of people that are going to listen to this interview and watch you all the time and listen to other of your interviews out there. They really tune in. What advice would you give women out there that need that extra push? Because you've come from such an amazing background and you are who you are, and every answer you're giving is very empowering. What would you give as an advice for them if they want to become like you?
I honestly think that the most important relationship is the relationship you have with yourself. That's number one. Once you have that relationship covered, the one you have with yourself, you can be a better daughter, you can be a better parent, you can be a better sister, you can be a better friend to your friend. People usually forget that we are our most important relationship. Because after you have that covered, you can really give out your best. If you don't have that covered, there's no way you can give back. And we're here to give back. We need to be ready to receive first ourselves. And women, we compromise that a lot. Most of the time we do, because we feel like the world needs us, and they do. But the only way we can contribute to the world, contribute in our personal life and professionally, is once we have that relationship with yourself covered. And that means, you know, take care of yourself, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally, read, work out, do what makes you happy first, and then give the rest of your time to the people you absolutely love and to your craft. And to, you know, once you have that relationship, it's so key that 100% you'll be a badass. 100%.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, it's yeah, absolutely. That's a guarantee formula right there.
There you go. That's a cool formula. And that's a formula everybody needs to listen to out there. All these fans that are listening to Danay right here. What an amazing conversation so far. Danay, I know we're getting very heavy duty on like personal things. I want to ask you this. I want to ask you, why do you think Fear the Walking Dead is so successful right now?
I tell you, I know why. I think once you have a universe that is the apocalypse, that nothing is going on. There's no internet. There's no social media. There's like nobody cares about what car you drive, what clothes you wear. Once you strip that down and you really focus on who are you morally, what are your tools to survive? And they have nothing to do with the tools that we use today. You know, like those material stuff that don't really mean anything. One, what do you have left? How good are you at communicating? What are your morals? And it just puts that in perspective really fast. And that is something that unconsciously people are tapped into it. Oh my God, how would you negotiate with your neighbor about water? Are you going to steal it? Are you going to like share it? You know, it goes really to the common denominator, which is, who are you? How is your heart? Are you angry? Are you bitter? How are you going to overcome that to survive? And the living, they respond in different ways. And it's like going down to basics. And I think everybody, when they sit down, they just see human people going down to basics. And the more down to basics they go, the more they can go to, you know, the audience. They can see themselves. How would I do that? How would I survive that? Would I kill people? Would I go into meditation? So it just really puts you down in a place where there's no distraction. And that is huge. It's hard to find in storytelling nowadays. It really is, because you don't have characters that are wearing beautiful clothes. We have blood in our faces. We have dirt. There's no distraction other than how we deal with the world. And that is something we don't see every day. And I think that's one of the main reasons, why people are so attracted to this world, because they can put themselves in that place, once a week, every Sunday. And that's how I feel.
That's pretty powerful to say that, because you're basically saying strip the phone, strip all your material stuff, and just be raw, and then you'll start seeing things differently, and life's going to change for you really quick. When you don't have two cell phones attached to your side, or a laptop or this or social media, yeah, things are going to change really crazy.
How many followers you have, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's true.
The followers you're going to earn are the followers you really, really, really show them that you're worth following, or that, you're worth them follow you. And you need to give them a very strong reason why to do that. There's no picture that can guarantee that in the apocalypse. It's just action. And that is beautiful. And that's why I'm very passionate about it, because we don't really rely on absolutely anything other than yourself and your actions every day. And It's wonderful.
Wow, you're very passionate. Have you ever got super emotional on set?
In the character all the time. I mean, in the first episode, I got a pole coming out of my shoulder. It was very, very, very intense. I mean, it was my second day of work from the hiatus, and I'm here in this table with all my peers around me, holding my leg, and then here I have June, which is Jenna Elfman, pulling a pole out of my shoulder, and I'm screaming 7 times over and over again. I was like, oh my God, this is welcome to season 5. This is how it's going to go down. So yeah, I mean, it's a show that it's not light. You need to have a purpose every day you go to work, because it's going to be intense. It's going to be strong, but you also want to take care of yourself. You want to finish the season too. So you need to have tools to deal with that. And I usually, I read a lot. I work out. I love going to the movies and just enjoy what magic other people have and be inspired by others' work. And writers, I love writing too. So, you need to really maneuver a lot of things to be able to, deal with the amount of your emotions and the apocalypse. I mean, it's a really strong, passionate work. And you're working with passionate people too. So
of course,
that makes it okay too.
Of course you are. Has it ever been so hectic and so emotional on set that when they say cut and you leave and you're at home or in wherever you're at, your hotel room, wherever, have you ever kind of went to this like mental side where you're like, what if there's really zombies out there? Or that scene freaked you out so much that you might have gotten scared from it or anything like that. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, some people are desensitized about it, but I'm not. It gets me every time I go back to work. Or when I have a break and I go back, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy I took a break. Oh my God, I should have never get used to this, This is terrible. And I remember once we were so tired, I looked at Alicia and I said, Alicia, can you imagine we go home and there's the real apocalypse? And then she looked at me, she's like, I don't want to ever think about that, ever, Danay. It's the most scary thing I could ever. I was like, I agree. Like, you would never, because we've been living this world for like years now. And I'm like, can you imagine? Oh my God, it would be, I can't even imagine this. I can't. But we've had very strong days where I have this routine and it's a ritual actually. For some reason, we go to like really far away locations because we're always like in outdoors locations, the apocalypse outdoors. And it takes usually like an hour and a half to travel to get there. So that means that I have to travel an hour and a half back. And usually in that hour and a half, it's usually dark or it's sunset. And I do this great meditation with the sun that I just say thank you for such a beautiful and exhausting day, do my little gratitude, say thank you to everybody that helped me, got me water, got me ready. Because it takes a village for real. It's like there's no way I could do this all myself. And the stories I'm telling. And somehow by the time I get home, I feel better. I feel like I could sleep, I calm down. And it's a really nice way to kind of leave the apocalypse behind and the character in the apocalypse, and then I go to home, So it's a little ritual that I do with the sun or the stars or whatever.
That's
it's
pretty
usually
cool.
it gets late. Yeah, it is really nice. It helps.
You say thank you to the sun, to the stars, to the wind, to everybody. And it does take a village to create a show. I've been on sets. OMG, there's like 100 people to do one thing. And it's pretty hectic.
It's exhausting and it's hectic. So I thank everybody for, showing up and deal with this whatever comes at us, the rain, the wind, the heat, the cold. I mean, it can be, we have no control over that. And they go every day and they just go for it. That's like so amazing. And I just thank them every day. I do.
You're such a very appreciative person, which is kind of cool because I don't hear that often. It's pretty cool to hear.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's important. It's what gets me going. It really is. It makes it okay for me to do it again. It's a good feeling. It really is. It's not that hard.
It's not hard. And everybody thanks you for that. And they've probably worked double as hard or triple as hard. And they're like, hey, we got to get Danay's coffee quicker because she's so nice. So
yeah. I get that a lot. Every time I just have like a day off or two, I come back to work. They're like, hey, we missed you. We'll come back. I'm like, guys, it's been only 24 hours. I'm like, oh, my God. It's really cute.
So if all this stuff really is like so amazing to you and you're so appreciative and sometimes you're on set, you're like, OMG, this is crazy. How was your first convention experience then?
Oh, my God, Comic-Con? Wow. Oh, gosh. Okay. It was not planned that I would go to Comic-Con. When we wrapped Fear the Walking Dead season 2, my character, nobody knew her. And, nobody knew who she was. So usually they're like, oh, what should we introduce you if nobody knows who you are? I said, fair enough. I was not even expecting to go. And I remember I was shooting a movie right after wrapping Fear. I went to a movie called Avenge the Crow. So I was shooting, and I didn't think I was any problem, any conflict at all. And all of a sudden, they call me, and they say, hey, you are going to Comic-Con. And I'm like, what? What am I going to talk about without spoiling? Don't worry about it. Just don't say anything. I'm like, how could I go and not say anything? So anyway, I went there, and I didn't know what to expect because I've never been to Comic-Con at that time, and before that I was just working, and I didn't know what to expect. And to my surprise, the absolute love and support from the fans, not knowing who I was. They just saw a trailer of Luciana sliding somebody's head off and talking to Nick. It was enough for them to be like, welcome, we love you. I'm like, okay, this is weird. And then obviously I ended up talking about this character without spoiling anything. And don't ask me how I did that. That was crazy. But it was surreal. It was like a different, that's when I realized that I landed in a very special show. Because, shooting it, you're just in the adrenaline of, getting the job done, doing your best and going off for it. But you don't know how it went down until it comes out. But I already knew I was in good hands just by the love of the fans, without them even seeing my work. It was so special. It was so profound that every time I know I'm going to Comic-Con, I just cannot wait. Because it's like rekindling with them in such a deep level of like my first time. That unconditional love, that I received from them. Because you usually get love from the fans once they know your work in that show. But this time around, they just saw a teaser, like the trailer that they released at Comic-Con, and it was so powerful. It was so beautiful that they were so open to receive what we have for them. And that's when I felt like a huge responsibility of, I don't want to let these beautiful souls down. It was beautiful.
Fans are amazing, especially Comic-Con fans. They're the best in the universe. I love them all. They're so accepting and loving. They won't even know who the character is. Like you said, they'll see a little trailer and they're like, I love you, because they know that you got picked for this show as a main character, a cast member, they know you're going to be amazing. They just feel that right away. And they just love everything that has to do with you guys. And I know you've went to the Walker Stalker conventions, and I know you've been into all those places. Have you ever gotten like too overwhelmed by the fans? You're like, OMG, I can't handle this. And I know it's loving and it's lovely and you want that all the time, but sometimes does it get like, OMG, I don't know what to do?
Every time they come to me, I always wonder, what is it that makes you be so, loving at this point? And they always surprise me. It's not like I cannot handle it. It's like at the end of the day, I go to my hotel room and I'm like, it's overwhelming how much they know about what I do. And probably because in interviews like this, I express myself from my heart. It's like when I talk to them, like they're talking to my heart. I'm like, how do you know me? And I'm like, oh, then I read my own interviews. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I really talk from my heart over there. Oh, it's like they really know me in a very strange way because I don't know their faces until I see them in front of me. And that is the overwhelming part. That is the part that is like, wow, I'm going to see them again tomorrow. Oh, my God. It's so, and they also know my name. It's like, it's so cute. I never feel like it's overwhelming because I know what they're connected to, in terms of stories and how I communicate. But it's just really loving. It's lovely that they respond to that, to what I give them. It's really kind, and I don't take it for granted.
That's amazing.
We're really here because of them.
Of course.
That's the truth.
It's all about the fans.
Yeah.
It's them. Without them, there would be no Marvel, DC, AMC, Walking Dead, nothing. It's them that eats it all up, loves it, supports it, and made everyone who they are. We're all here because of them. That's basically it. You hit it on the nail.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes.
That's cool. I love your answer. You're like, hey, yeah, it gets overwhelming, but wow, they love me. And I bet you sometimes go to your hotel room and you're like, wow, that's crazy how much love and support you got. And it gives you energy and it gives you motivation and it makes you want to do good because
it's huge.
Right? The next episode you go on, you're like, I better do good because they're watching me from head to toe.
Oh, yeah, no, it's massive. It's like, I cannot let this beautiful love that they have for, first of all, this show, this story, this character down. It's like a huge responsibility that all you can do is do your best, like content. Like there's things that I've done that I'm like, there's no way I would have done that just like for myself. It's like you always do much more when it's bigger than you. It's like when you have a child, you're like, I would do this. I would never do this for me, but I will do this for you. It's like I would never do 17 hours a day or the amount of hours every day, inspired and excited, unless we have this beautiful support out there. They're eager to watch and see what we're doing. Unless we have that beautiful support and love and unconditional love, it's like whatever you put out there, they're going to receive, and you're here because of them. It's like a weird give and take love right there. It's like, I love what I do. I'm giving you my art, and you can't wait to receive it and to be in touch with what it is that we do. And it's like, and we've been doing this now for years. It's incredible.
That's amazing.
That's really cool. Is.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool, and it's great that you're part of it, and now you're going to be part of it forever. No matter 20 years, 30 years down the road, they're still going to remember your character from Fear the Walking Dead. You're still going to have your fans, and that's something that's going to last forever and never stop. Is there anything that you could share with us that you've never shared on any interview? Anything about how you are or anything about your life that you want the fans to know that you've never shared, or you're like, oh, I wish I would have said this or that?
I wanted to share that, we just have season 5, out. And when I joined the show, I didn't know, because that's another thing about the apocalypse, that you don't know how long you're going to last or what's going to happen. Like, you have to take it as it comes, right? Which is great. It's part of the job. But now that season 5, and, the fact that Luciana is still here, the fact that I am still learning and growing, and I have the opportunity to see a character grow from like season 2 to today, it's such a gift done, to me. And I cannot be more grateful for everyone that has supported Lucy and Luciana through her ups and downs in the apocalypse, and that is still root for her. And I'm rooting for her. And it's really empowering. Also the girls out there that they see a piece of them in this character, the fact that she's surviving, and it's a beautiful legacy that they're survivors too. We have this beautiful character in common, Danay and the fans, which is Luciana. That it's something that I would never forget. This connection that we're feeling today through this character, through this show. And I just wanted to tell everybody that I'm incredibly grateful to be part of this universe because of you. And I'm incredibly grateful to be part of the Comic-Con and feel the love right there, right there in front of me. It's I don't take it for granted for a second. And I just wanted to say thank you.
That's so nice of you. Well, you're a sweet person. You have such amazing things to say all the time. And, I just didn't want to talk about the show by itself because here's the thing. You are one of the original cast members from the beginning. Yeah, of course, you came in on season 2, but season 1, season 2 was the beginning. Fear the Walking Dead was much different. Around season 3, it started changing. And season 4, the filming changed even more. And it became what it is now in season 5. But yourself, Coleman, Alicia, and of course, the entry of Ruben now in season 5, you're the original people. It shows something. It shows how valuable you are to the show. It shows how wonderful you are. And it shows how many people truly love you around the globe. You are such a pivotal part of the series that you've been there this whole time. And like I said earlier, your character has evolved and it's growing, and it's really great to see. And I know you're going to be there for many seasons to come.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
These fans out there, they probably know more than anybody about the shows. They dissect and they do everything about it. So I wanted to get into who you are, talk about your personality, talk about how you feel, because I've heard you're a very kind person, very amazing, very soft-hearted, and I wanted to get that out. But I do have one question about the show. How did it feel when you heard that Lenny James and Austin Emilio was joining the cast?
Oh my God! Well, when I heard that, first it was Lenny. When I heard Lenny was coming, and to be honest with you, I stopped watching The Walking Dead because once I learned we're gonna have some little crossover, I want to be honest with you, I didn't want to like them. I wanted to be like surprised of who they were in terms of characters, right? I'm like, I don't want to know who you are, your past. I don't want to feel empathy for you. I want you to earn it. And I want to earn that empathy too, myself, to you. So I stopped completely. But I couldn't help but being great fans of them, right? So I was like, I don't want to be biased because then the fans are going to feel it. Because I'm like, oh, whatever you do is great, because they are great. So when I first found out, number one, I couldn't wait to see them and meet them and hang out with them and ask them how is it in the other apocalypse, right? You can't help it. But then it was instant. I felt like we're the Avengers. Like, how Iron Man had his own movie, and now it's like the Avengers Endgames, and all these superheroes are coming together, and then they go apart, and they have their own movies. I feel like we're the Avengers, but in the apocalypse. And I'm like, yeah, we're superheroes. That we go from one universe to the next. It was like, this is great. And and we have guns, and you have a stick. I mean, we have our superpowers, and it's just really nice. And I just couldn't wait to share with them. And my right away intuition is for them to feel home in our show and to feel welcome and to feel, that we're like so much looking forward to this as they were. And it was mutual. It's nice to share that with a cast that is so used to the apocalypse, because the other characters that we have they're brand new to the show. But these people, they're like doing this longer than I have. So that is like, wow, how is it? We've been doing it for 10 years. Oh my God, how are you doing? So you always learn from the good guys, you know.
Well, you fangirled it, I think. That was like a fangirl moment for you.
Totally. I'm like, I need to keep watching this because I like this guy. Like, I can be on screen action. I'm like, oh, I love you guys. It's okay, whatever. No, Luciana would never do that. It's like, wow, I can't just like them right away. They need to earn my attention and love, you know?
They're the characters of The Walking Dead, both iconic shows, both shows that probably could last forever if the network wants you guys to go forever, because zombies are like ice cream to the people. It's like it'll never go away. Zombie shows, especially your shows. Like there's zombie shows that came and went, but Fear The Walking Dead, your characters, the way you guys do it, the way it's evolved into, must feel cool. And now this season, Austin Emilio came on.
I know. He's such a good soul. He's so amazing. He's so full of life, and I'm so excited to be in explore this apocalypse and just be part of it. It was just amazing. And we're actually in his hometown. Like, he's from Austin. It's crazy. Like, this is his place, you know? We're like in his home.
He's from Austin.
Texas.
His name is Austin, you know?
He's Austin, yeah. I'm like, hey, where's your place? He's the one that tells me, you know, go to this restaurant, go to that one, it's great. No, don't go to that one. You know, it's like, he's the one that tells us what to do, what to go. It's so cool. He's so happy. We're in his, we're working in his place. He literally goes from his bed to the set. It's like that's his home. So cool.
You've been so amazing this entire episode. We love chatting with you. You are so easy to talk with. Here's the thing. I know you can't talk about anything about the current season or anything coming up, but is there anything that you can tell the fans out there?
Well, what I can say is that, from my character's perspective, is that, Luciana, she's in this vulnerable place, and what is really happening is that she's sharpening herself to take over, and that is something, not to worry, because she's really getting in touch with the most profound way in her soul, like in herself, her strategies. She's like changing in a way. You need to watch to see how she's gonna end it. I mean, because there's a full circle that has to be closed, and she's gonna be part of it.
Oh boy, exciting! And that's every Sunday on AMC. And I always tell fans,
yes,
please don't watch these shows on the cheat apps. Please watch it live, because it's very important, right? You have to tell them that, Danay,
it's
right?
part of it. Yes, it's part of it. I mean, you have to go through the journey like we do as actors. Like, every time I get an episode, I'm like, what is the next one? I want to get the next script. Oh, you have to wait. So you have to go through it too. So you have to watch it live, and then wait for the next week episode and watch it the next one, and go through the journey, because you can't miss it. It's so crazy,
That's awesome.
It really is.
And you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Comic-Con. Absolutely. Yeah, and in the panel and everywhere.
Nice. So fans could come to San Diego. I hope they got their tickets, because that thing's sold out already. But I hope they're going to come. They'll see you again.
Oh, yes. July 18, 19, and 20.
Nice. Is there any other Comic-Con conventions or anything else that you might be at that if they can't get tickets to San Diego?
I don't have it at this point right now, but I'll be posting in my social media once things are confirmed, which is at Danay Garcia 1. That's my Instagram. Everything that I have usually coming up, I would put it right there in Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
So your
at
Instagram,
Danay Garcia 1.
Your Instagram is Danay Garcia 1, and you also have a Twitter, right?
Yes, which is the same, at Danay Garcia 1. And my Facebook is official Danay Garcia.
Nice. And they always have to add the number 1. So it's Danay Garcia 1 on Instagram. I love your Instagram. Cool pictures. It looks like you're having fun all the time. and you're always posting cool things. And we just started following you as well because we're your fan as well now.
You.
So especially after this episode, I'm your fan. That's it. You have me for life.
Thank you. You got me for life too. I'll follow you right back.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
And is there anything you want to tell the fans out there before we start heading out?
I just wanted to tell them that stay tuned with things that are hitting up on Fear the Walking Dead. Thank you for your love and support every single year, every season, every episode. Hearing you guys, your opinions and your reactions, I absolutely love them. There's like this little video that fans are watching the show, and they have like a video watching them watch the show, and I just laugh so hard. I mean, it keeps me going. Well, that's what I do when I'm working really late. I just watch you guys' reaction of when, Salazar shows up. When it's just hilarious. Thank you for inspiring me to be the best I can be. Thank you for your incredible, great vibe, and for your, support every single year. I really, we are actually, the entire show is really happy about that. Thank you. I'm grateful.
Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you so much, Danay. And with that said, we have to exit the show. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yay. Okay, let's do this. We're going to say this and we have to blow kisses. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your boy Galaxy with a very special episode today from Fear the Walking Dead, Danay Garcia. And we're signing out. And now what we have to do, Danay, is we have to blow amazing kisses. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Mwah! 1 billion kisses. Yes. Wow. Your fans are going to take that, put it in their pocket, and when they watch Fear the Walking Dead live, they're going to pull those out and be like, yes, she blew me a kiss. But with that said, 1 million kisses to everybody out there. Danay, thank you so much. You've been so lovely. We absolutely appreciate you so much for coming on the show. And we're signing out. Peace.
That was sweet.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.